So it's probably 2:01 in Dublin. So I'm going to hand over to our president to open the meeting. Over to you, Simon.
John. A very happy new year to each and everyone who has attended today. Generally, the New Year's Day is considered as a holiday across all the companies across the whole world. And we are meeting today. And that actually is a great achievement in itself, I would say. Because I always think that why is the New Year always put in as a holiday? And I guess what we don't understand as people who are working is that it is work that actually creates whatever we want to create in our life. Of course, family and personal life is equally important, if not more. What I don't understand is why people abhor work. Why personal and holiday life is considered more important than work. Actually, both should be equal. Or I can understand personal life and family life can have more importance because that's where we get our energy from. But work should be equally important as well. And with that note that, and actually, as a Toastmasters Club, it's not work per se. It is actually coming together of minds, listening, hearing, absorbing, understanding, and co-creating something that we probably would not have imagined before. This is what we do when we meet every week. So thank you all for joining and wish you all a great new year. I wish that all your dreams, all your desires, all your ambitions come true this year. Thank you so much. And with that note, I would like to hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, John Khalid. Huge round of applause for John.
Thank you very much, President Samesh. So new beginnings, like every year, we start off again a new year. But we don't forget the last year because we learned from the last year to go forward to the new year. Now, looking at the agenda, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this year we're going to celebrate a year because we're at our 49th meeting. If we're at 49, there's only 52 weeks in a year. Another 3 meetings by the end of January, or we were done 52 meetings since we first started. So I hope we're going to have a celebration on the 52 at some time in the future. So it's something to look forward to in the future. And like every human being, we have to have goals, objectives to look forward to. And that's something that I looked and I thought, that's fantastic. 52 weeks that we've actually been at club when we first started, when Samesh started the club. So let's have a good 2022. Within 3 or 4 weeks, we will have a celebration of our 52nd meeting, and let's look forward to more in the coming months. So we've got a fun-filled, packed agenda tonight. We've got 2 speakers, very experienced speakers that we're going to hear from. But first, I'm going to hear from Liz, our grammarian, for the word of the day. Over to you, Liz, please.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Toastmaster. I've been away that long, I forgot what we have to do. Wow, so our agenda theme, new beginnings. And I thought, well, what do we look at in our future? What is it that we are hopeful of? So my word of the day for you to try and nip into your topics and speeches is optimistic. We look forward with optimism, hopefulness and confidence that we will achieve what we want to do in the future. So optimistic people are cheerful, positive, bright, and happy and achieve their goals. And if they don't achieve the goal they thought they would achieve another goal. On the opposite, we'll have the pessimist, the negative and the gloomy person. So that's not what we want. So the word of the day, the optimistic. Optimistic to be used in your speeches, if possible, and your topics. Thank you. Oh, I'm grammarian. Shall I say about grammarian as well? Do I say that wrong? I'll be listening out for all your words.
As a advanced club, I think everybody here knows the job of grammarian and art.
Cool.
Yes.
Off we go. Yep.
I'm trying to keep the R's down a bit tonight. Right then. So I'm also optimistic that our two speakers will be using the word optimistic. So let's go forward and go straight into our first speaker, which is Rosianna, or Rosie as we call her. And I believe Council has received the note. Council, could you tell us what the speech is going to be about?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. This is the first speech of the Manage Projects Successfully project. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of her team. The purpose of this first speech is for the member to give a short overview of the plan for her project. This will be a 2 to 3 minute report on her plan, which should include an explanation of what the member intends to accomplish, information about the team the member has built to help her accomplish the plan, and a well-organized informational speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much.
I forgot for the time limit, since it's a 2 to 3 minute speech, what I'll do, Rosie, assuming it's okay with you, is I'll show the green at 2, yellow at 2:30, and red at 3. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer and Mr. Evaluator. So Rosie, I believe your speech title, for an idea that does not seem insane, there is no hope. The floor is yours, Rosie.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening. Yeah, Alfred North Whitehead said, every really new idea looks crazy at first. And of course, for an idea that does not seem insane, there is no hope. Okay, that's from Albert Einstein. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, health is wealth. And what if you can have both? Well, I remember when I was a banker, I spent about 500 ringgit a month on petrol or fuel or gas. I think in US they call it gas. And that's about $100, and that's a lot of money. And at the same time, I can see a lot of cars left abandoned in even this housing estate. And putting all those things together, why do we have it all? And this is what this project is all about. It is, yes, the idea seems crazy at first. This is called the electric pedal assist car. I'm amazed by the bicycle that I have when I just pedal a bit and it goes very far. And here in Malaysia, the budget 2022 is given a lot of tax relief and road tax relief for electric cars. And electric car has been invented some 189 years ago. And why now? That is coming back. And even now they have 1,000 kilometer electric car already in the making. So I find this this really interests me, and of course the project required team, and I was thinking like this is really crazy, but there is also someone crazy like me in going along. And at first we are going to see this amusement park where they already have a pedal car, except that they don't have the electricity or the battery into it. Well, it's going to be a very long-term project, and maybe I have to wait for my nephew to graduate with an engineering degree. But somehow, I think like Atomic Habits, maybe I have found a team from the university that I met along the way, and also those people that crazy like me. But I do not know how long it's going to take. But I think I would like to be in conclusion is that imagine on a weekend that you can indulge yourself in whatever things that you want to eat and still losing weight. So for an idea does not seem insane, there is no hope. Let's pedal. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rosie. So we've gone down to electric power and pedal power. I think when we run out of oil, we'll be back to pedal power or electric power in the future. But I'm not optimistic about that. Right, so I've got to get optimistic in, come on. Let's go on to our next speaker, which is Sabaria Musa. And the second evaluator is Amvita. Amvita, could you tell us the purpose of this speech, please?
Sabaria is attempting a project called as Inspire Your Audience. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. All the best to the speaker. Back to John.
Thank you very much, Amvita. As Sabaria Musa, use it or you lose it. Over to you, Sabaria. Floor is yours.
Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening, John. Happy New Year, everybody. It's a brand new day, a brand new year, a brand new you. Yeah? Yes, a brand new you. Why? Because it's the time now to get up and use your muscles. Why did I say that? Because all of us were chair bound. You're sitting down most of the time, looking and having online meetings. Well, blame it on the COVID and the resulting movement control order. Easy, isn't it? It's the COVID. Well, President, fellow Toastmasters, why do we need to get up from our chair and move our body? Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. Our muscles are created to move. Our body are created to move and not just sit down there. Well, our muscles and our joints need movement. If I were to ask you if you've seen a person on a wheelchair and ask them what's the thing they want most in their life, they will tell you the ability to walk. Yes, mobility, to get up and move freely is what you and I take for granted. Why? Because we move, we have the ability to do it. But those who are bedridden, those who are on the wheelchair, you want to use their muscles. And here we have it. We could use our muscles, but what do we choose to do? Blame it on the COVID. We have to sit down. We have to go online. Meeting and meeting and meeting. Oh, God. Well, for the muscles to be strong, you need to exercise it. You need to put some pressure, some movement for it to be strong. And some conditioning movement, some strengthening movement that will take the muscles and the joint to be stronger and fitter, and it will improve your muscles tone, your muscle strength, and also performance. Hence, you will have quality life. Well, I'm optimistic that everybody has a very good lifestyle here. I know John has just completed his 1 million steps for 2021. That's a good one. And I know Satya does relaxation and yoga technique for this. Well, sometimes by accident or cruel twist of fate, a fit person may get immobilized or get sedentary. And it happened to me in the year 2000 and 2016. I was taken sick. I was bedridden. I was in a coma. I can't move a single joint. But I was a fitness instructor. Maybe the Almighty says, hey girl, time for you to take a break. You did so much thing in your life. Being an opportunistic, I believe and I have faith that is the reason I was taken sick. Well, it was a long process of recovery. I remember my loving husband and my mom. After recovery told me, you look like a zombie. Well, of course, who would not with 45 kilograms skeleton body and popping big eyes? You won't definitely look beautiful, but I fight because I know I want to use the muscles. Well, when I remember when I had the ability to speak, I asked, how do I go sideways when I was lying down face down? That loving man showed me, tell me, and I did it. But one day, I was sitting on the floor, and I hold up my hand because I want to sit on the chair. Suddenly, that loving man became very authoritative. He told me, you are a fin instructor. Use your muscles and your brains, otherwise you're going to lose it. Well, up to this day, I remember that because I was preaching, use it or lose it, to all the sedentary people, to all the obese people that I was training. And where it looks at me, use it or lose it. From my house, I fought on to carry water bottles as my dumbbells in that day, very slowly and struggling. But I was optimistic that I will be standing on my feet again. And I did it. From being able to sit at the end of the day, to standing up, to taking a few steps. Here I am today, talking to you loudly, healthily, and happily. Well, even though I do have pains in my life, my lovely Toastmasters, would you get up yourself from that chair after each meeting or after your online work to stretch? Everybody to stretch, maybe to bring it forward and to feel that muscles relaxing. Then you will use that muscles. Remember, if you don't use it, you will lose it. So exercise, stretch the muscles, and don't forget, include some strengthening exercise. It may just be your water bottle, or let's go to the gym, Kashal, and we'll do some pumping there with the real muscles like real men. Bye. I will encourage everybody, use it or you lose it. Back to you, Toastmasters of the evening. Thank you. Oops.
Thank you very much, Sabaria. So we all got to use it or we lose it. Yeah, but don't just forget about the brain. You've also got to use your brain as well as physically. And this is the way at Toastmasters we are using our brain. So in listening and evaluating and speaking. So we're going straight on to the table topics, the impromptu speeches. We've already had one impromptu speech from Rosie near enough, because that was 2 to 3 minutes. So we've now got 1 to 2 minutes on table topics, and I will hand you over to the table topics master. President Samesh, over to you.
Are you able to see the screen? Yes.
Yes,
And is it in the presentation mode?
it is. Yes.
Okay. Very happy New Year. First of all, before we begin this set of topics, let me see how we are on the screen, and we'll probably go in the order that I see people on the screen. So, okay, I might go the reverse order. Just a moment, I need to move this panel a little bit just to understand how we are set up here in terms of the people in this meeting. Okay, I will actually start with Mr. Satya, Toastmaster Satya, for the first topic. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. It's said by Seneca. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. What are your thoughts, Satya? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Topics Master. That was an excellent topic for me. Every new beginning comes from something which you have already seen. Today we are stepping into a new beginning. In fact, all over the world, nearly 700 billion people are looking forward to this new beginning. They want to forget what has happened. Never happened maybe since 1910, after the Spanish flu, in about 110 years. This is the first time we have faced, still in fact, we are facing a crisis of COVID-19. All of you are aware of it. So we should always look forward, be optimistic, see how we can move forward. Many of the countries are already bringing in the booster dose, including India, from next 10th of January for seniors like me, and for the children from Monday onwards. That is on 3rd, they have started giving a vaccination. That I hope will also help, as just now, like including the health and what Sabaria mentioned, you have to keep moving your arms and legs all the time to keep yourself happy or healthy. Besides that, to keep preventive kind of activities, actions you take, masking, social distancing. Government does whatever it does, but it is for us individuals to take care of ourselves, prevent whatever this pandemic calamity that has come to us, and start a new beginning this year. And this is a very opportune moment for us to put into practice whatever elders say, whatever experts say, and try and emulate whatever has to be essentially for children, because they are the next generation. There is a UN report which says, surprisingly, today we have, out of nearly 7.5 billion people in the world, nearly 200 billion are children. Even in 2100, it will be 200 billion because of the decreased kind of a people not procreating more, like what we were seeing earlier. So it's very important that we all keep healthy as we grow old and be happy in the future. Get into a new beginning. Over to topics master.
Thank you very much, Satya. Quite an optimistic way of dealing with the question that we had, the first question of this meeting. Now, according to the screen, I might actually go to, is there anyone else who wanted to go for this topic? Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. A follow on, anyone? No? Okay, thank you. The next, trust the magic of new beginnings. Trust the magic of new beginnings. What do you think about this, Anvita?
Oh my God, what do I do? This is a new class. This is a new school. I don't know anyone. Oh God, what do I do? I was perspiring. I was tensed. I thought I was going to die. I was that anxious that day. Good day, Toastmasters. This happened when I was in 6th grade. For my 7th grade, my parents got me admission in a new school because we changed our school to a new locality and they wanted me to go to a school in this new locality. I didn't know anyone in this new school. It was a new beginning, which I absolutely hated. When I entered the class, I noticed that everyone was seated in their respective benches. I didn't know what to do. I went and sat in the last bench. Throughout the day, I didn't even utter a single word to anyone. That day, after I went to the home, I just went to my bedroom, closed the door, and started crying. The entire night, I couldn't sleep. I missed my old friends. I missed my old neighborhood. I really missed my old school. What nonsense is this? What sort of life is this? I was thinking. I was a pessimist. The next day morning, my mom saw my red eyes. She told me to be an optimistic person. Anvita, how can you only decide that everything is going to be a flop? How can you tell that people are going to treat you as a fool in the new school? Just give it a chance, is what she said. I decided to make an effort the next day. The first half, I didn't speak. During lunch break, I went and sat next to a group and I said, "Do you want to share my lunch?" Immediately, the group of students agreed. They gave me their lunch. We shared lunch. We became friends. After that, life was extremely breezy. I started liking the school, liking the teachers. Dear Toastmasters, what I understood from this incident is that every new beginning is a new chance for you to improve upon yourself, to meet new people, go to new places, have fun. Just drop the pessimism and embrace the change. Change is the only constant in our lives. Back to the DTM Somesh.
Thank you very much. A great quote to end with. Change is the only constant in life. Absolutely, 100%. And therefore, the beginnings can be made at any time. It is not dependent on it being a new year or anything else, really. It depends on our perspective. When we want to change, we change at that moment. Thank you so much, Anvita, for your answer. Next topic. I did not ask, actually. Did anyone else wanted to talk on that? Trust the magic of new beginnings? No. Okay. Okay, the next one is the year's end is neither an end nor a beginning, but a going on. It kind of gelled quite well with what I was talking just a moment back. The year's end is neither an end nor a beginning, but a going on. And that's said by Hal Borland. I see on the screen Kaushal next. What are your thoughts, Kaushal, on that? Thank you.
Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. I strongly agree with that statement. In fact, I often wonder why we make such a big deal about a calendar change in our lives. How is that different? It's just how we keep track of time, people. Why are you making a big deal? But I guess we need a reason to party, right? And it helps to have intervals in our lives that prompt us to look back on the year we lived and look forward to the year ahead. If it makes people a little bit more optimistic, then I suppose it's not a bad thing to make a big deal of it. And I especially liked the first topic that Samish provided. Every new beginning is, I think, the beginning of some other beginning's end or something like that. I didn't know it was a quote from Seneca, because the way I've heard that is from a line called Closing, from a song called Closing Time, which was a pretty popular song in the 90s about how it kind of takes place in a bar, but it's about so much more that, you know, at the end of the night, the New Year's has happened and you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You have to keep moving. Life hasn't come to an end. You have to keep moving on to the next phase. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this, Samish. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. And thank you so much, John, for having the presence of mind to do the timing immediately when Kaushal was doing. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Anyone else wanted to go for that? Year's end is neither an end nor a beginning, but a going on. No? Right. Okay, we go to the next topic. Which is faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Martin Luther King. What do you think about it, Liz? I see you on the screen next.
Thank you, Mr. Topics Master. I suppose in a way that comes to our themes that we have tonight, new beginnings and being optimistic. So when you see something in front of you, or you have a thought or an idea about what you want to do, but it seems insurmountable, you see obstacles, you do not see the light at the end of that tunnel. The optimistic person within us will go forward, will take that one step at a time, and the challenges that they will meet, they will take them head on. And if you can't do it straightforward, you always go around. A pessimistic person will probably say, oh, I can't be bothered with this. I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to go back down that hill. And maybe I'll look for a road that's a lot safer and I can see where I'm going easily. So at the end of the day, I think what we're looking at here is don't be afraid to walk forward, even though you cannot see what's in front of you. Don't be afraid to take the chance and the risk, because if you don't do that, you will not achieve your goal, unless, of course, we'll have easy options and easy goals. But I don't think many of us have that in life. So go forth, go up that hill, go around that blind corner, and take the challenge head on, and always be true to your own goal and where you want to be in life. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Liz. Excellent ending to the impromptu speech. Go for it. Even if you think that it is something that is at this moment, as Rosie was telling in her speech as well, that sometimes people might think that this is insane or this might not really work out. But if we have the faith, if we know that this is what I want to do, then we just need to go for it. And there is one beautiful saying that says that the whole universe conspires to help you to bring to your goal. If we have that faith, if we have the belief in our own goal. So thank you so much, Liz, for your wonderful impromptu speech. Anyone else wanted to go for this? Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. No one else? Okay. Let's go to the next topic. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Every moment is a fresh beginning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have done 4. We had 2 speakers. Okay, what do you think about it, John? Every moment is a fresh beginning.
If you look at it optimistically, you will know that every minute of your life is a beginning. Because when you get up in the morning, it's a fresh new day. And that's the beginning of the day. And you can do anything you like during that day. Well, I can anyway. So if I decided to go back to bed, I'll go back to bed. But I usually do not. I usually have a drink and I do my 5,000 to 6,000 steps upstairs on the 30th floor. With all new beginnings, you start out with a plan. And you need that plan to carry on. So it's like when I get up in the morning, I sit there with Fatima, what we're gonna do today. Or usually Fatima says, what we're gonna do today. And then we decide what we're gonna do for the day. And that's our new beginnings. It's like today we decided I wasn't gonna cook, so we went out for a meal. Wasn't planned, but we thought first day of the year, go out for a meal. That's what we did, 11 o'clock. And I had my first Nazir Lemak of the year. So new beginnings. And everything you do, you can make into a new beginning. So when you get up tomorrow morning, look in a mirror and say, this is a new day, a new beginning, and I'm going to enjoy it. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, John. An excellent, optimistic way of helping us understand how every moment is a fresh beginning. You brought in the aspect of spontaneity as well in your speech, which is quite an interesting aspect. Planning is very important. We all know that. But along with that, there should be spontaneity as well, which brings in that element of freshness in what we do. Thank you so much, John. I think we are nearly 20 to the hour. So I would like to conclude this set of topics. We already had 2 speakers, so I'm not giving the topic to the speakers who have already spoken. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. I've learned a lot from each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And I would like to now hand over the virtual gavel to our Toastmaster, Mr. John Khalid.
Thank you very much, our Table Topics Master of the evening. That's very well done on the topics. I was hoping I didn't get one of the hard ones earlier on. Got a reasonably easy one. So thank you very much for that. And without further ado, I'm going to hand straight over to our general evaluator, Satya. The floor is yours.
Thank you, TMOD. Fellow Toastmasters, splendid progress of the meeting so far. Now we are into the third and the final session of the meeting. That is the evaluation session. I would now call upon Mr. Kaushal, Toastmaster Kaushal, to give his evaluation for speaker 1. Rosie.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Rosie. The purpose of this speech was to give a very brief overview of a plan, a project that you're going to undertake. In just a 3-minute speech, you told us so much and you really entertained us and got us interested in this project. I loved how you began with a quote from Albert Einstein and the saying, health is wealth. I loved how you told us how you were inspired by this project just by looking at how much people were spending on gas, and seeing a lot of abandoned cars and wondering why can't we have it all? As someone who is very concerned about climate change and about moving away from petrol and gasoline, that's a topic that I'm very interested in. So you really piqued my interest when you mentioned the electric pedal assist cars. And you showed that this is not just some idle dream of yours, but you've actually put some research into this. You told us about some research that you've done on tax relief for this and the history and capability of electric cars. And I liked how you carried through the speech with a sense of optimism and a sense of humor. You said, the plan is crazy, but you're crazy too, so you just might be able to pull it off. You also admitted some limitations that you see right now. You don't have that many experts on your team yet. You may have to wait for your nephew to graduate in electrical engineering, but you mentioned that you have some acquaintances from university days that may help you. If something that could have improved your speech is a little bit more detail about what you intend to accomplish. I know that things are just starting and still kind of uncertain, but maybe like a 3-step plan of even really vague steps towards what you intend to accomplish that would enhance your speech. But I really look forward to your speech in which you tell us about how you gave the world the electric car. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaushal. That was excellent evaluation. Very well articulated all the concepts that the speaker had put across to us. One point which I thought could have looked at is she also alluded to the importance of pedaling and having better health. That resonated very well with all of us. With that, the evaluation was excellent, very well done. Now I move on to the second evaluator. That is second evaluator is of Sabaria. Is Anvita. Yes, Anvita, sorry.
I'm going to start exercising from tomorrow because if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it, as our speaker said. Good day, Toastmaster, and to Toastmaster Sabaria in particular. Happy New Year. It's a brand new year, brand new you. That was your opening statement. Yes, today is January 1st. You highlighted it beautifully and then transitioned into your speech smoothly. This showed your presence of mind. You connected your speech with the current situation. I enjoyed it. As I mentioned before, your title, Use It or You Lose It, was very catchy. It was like some advertisement jingle. There are some phrases which you cannot forget, such as Nike's Just Do It. Your title was just like that. You even reiterated it 3 times and you used variation of these phrases too, such as use your brains, use your muscles. All this is very easy to recollect. That wordplay is very good. Now let us come to the objectives of your speech. There were 4 objectives. One is to inspire others. You did it by giving various examples, by reiterating your message. Second was to be engaging and entertaining. You managed to do it with your interesting gestures. When you popped your eyes or when you came near the screen, when you told about online, when you said choose, you pointed towards here, you said what. All of this were very interesting. The third aspect was to show awareness of audience. You did this by speaking about John, Toastmaster Satya, DTM Kaushal, and by telling that all of us were chair-bound during lockdown. These were true facts. You showed audience awareness. Now, the fourth objective was to interact with audience. I didn't see you asking questions to the audience or to get their response. This part was missing from your speech. For example, in the beginning, when you said brand new you could have asked, what do you want to change in yourself? What is your new resolution? When you made some stretching movements, raising your hand, you could have asked the audience to do it along with you. This would have given you some audience interaction. Then all your objectives could have been met. Second suggestion is to reduce background noise. You can do it by select disable background noise in your Zoom, because in the latter part of your speech, I was able to hear some background noise, or else you can just move to a quieter place. I'm not sure whether it was others or you, but I heard some background noise. Coming to the positives again, I liked your background lighting because only you were in focus. Your entire background was darkened, reminded me of a movie theater. Because even there, the entire movie hall will be darkened. The spotlight will only be on the projector. Same thing with you too. The focus was only on you. Your room was dark. That is why I never took my eyes away from you. To summarize, you had catchy title, great gestures. If you would have included interactions with audience in your speech, all the four objectives of your project would have been met. Back to our general evaluator. Toastmaster Satya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anvita. Excellent evaluation. I don't think I have to add anything further to that. Congratulations to you and to the speaker. Now, let me move on to the next part of my evaluation. Right from the beginning. Before that, let me call upon the grammarian to give her report. Please.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. The grammarian role. So I'm pleased to say that the word of the day was used in abundance, and it was really very optimistically utilized. Fabulous. I think everybody said it. Toastmaster John 4 times, Sabria in that speech, and also Rosie, both mentioned in their speeches, which is really, really good. And yeah, everybody said it, the word of the day. Wonderful. Some word usages today. So Samesh, when he was talking at the beginning about coming together of minds, and that just made me feel that we were all here in a like-minded way to be together. And placing in during the topics, he reiterated by saying that in placing importance, planning is important along with spontaneity. I thought that was quite good. Rosie, in her speech, health is wealth. Yep, we can relate to, well, I can relate to that. And that the, what is it? Weekend indulgence, she said. I was like, yeah, we all like weekend indulgence. Sabria, move freely. Now, that conjured up a few things in my mind, because you're moving freely in life, or if you're getting like me and you can't go up the stairs, you have to run up and down. If you can walk up and down before you can run, then your muscles all move freely. So it conjures up a few things. And quality of life. And then through the topics, we had lots of things from people, from yourself, Satya, that the calamity of the COVID, and that what that has been, a calamity, I love that word. And Anvita, she had the new beginning. Sorry, wait a minute, I can't read my own writing. That in her speech, she missed that triage, missed friends, missed school, missed neighbours, and embrace the changes. And Kushal, during his speech and topics, a calendar change in our life. I thought that was quite interesting, I think, because we look at a calendar, not just on New Year's Day, but a calendar change in life. And you have to keep moving. And John, fresh new day, always a fresh new day, and the need to plan and to carry on. So some fabulous words usage. I didn't hear many ums and ahs to say there wasn't, oh, that's my next bit. Shall I carry on with that? Or me ums and ah bit? So there wasn't that many, to be honest. There was only a few ums and ahs, a couple of okays, but apart from that, great word usage, and I didn't really pick up on too many poor word usages. So thank you so much indeed, Toastmaster Sathya.
Thank you, Gramarin. That's quite an elaborate and detailed report, quite interesting. You have diligently noted down each and every word that has been spoken, and you have been able to tell us back what you found interesting. Very good. Now, let me also continue this discourse by requesting you, the R counter, to give its report. Liz, once again.
Thank you once again, Mr. General Evaluator. So with the ums and ahs, there wasn't that many in the meeting tonight. We had a few, I think John and Sabria and yourself, Sathya, but just a few. Nothing over the top. I think for the meeting as a whole, it was really, really well controlled for our and ahhing this afternoon. So thank you. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Liz. That's very well said. Good report. Now let me move on to the timer, Kaushal.
Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. For our speakers today, Rosie spoke for 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Sabaria for 7 minutes, 8 seconds. For the table topics, Sathya spoke for 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Anvita for 2 minutes, 34 seconds. I also spoke, but I saw that John had the time cards up for me, so I know I was within the time limit. Liz spoke for 1 minute, 37 seconds. John spoke for 1 minute, 57 seconds. For the evaluation speeches, again, for my evaluation speech, I saw from John's time cards that I was within the time limit. Anvita, you spoke for 3 minutes, 18 seconds. And for Anvita, I apologize that I used the colors at the wrong times. I was still in table topics mentality, so I showed the cards at the wrong time. So I apologize if that threw you off. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Kaushal. It was an excellent report, very comprehensive. Also pointed out what went wrong somewhere there. That's fine. We are all gullible people. We always, sometimes or other, we commit mistakes. It doesn't matter. Now, let me move on to the table topic master and also the other aspects that we observed during this meeting right from the beginning. Before that, let me talk about the table topic session. That was wonderful. I liked it very much. For a moment, though, I felt that it was repetitive because the word beginning was coming in frequently, but the speakers didn't let me think so, because it felt like I'm reading a classic. Newer concepts were coming out from each speech that was, though the word beginning was there, but they turned it around and made it so very interesting, each of the speakers. All in all, I found the table topic session very interesting, very informative, and a lot of new things I learned during this session. Congratulations to the table topic master, DTM Somesh, for that. Now, if I look at these right from the beginning, the session per se, it started dot on time. I appreciate TMOD, John Khalid, for this. He kept reminding us, you have to start, time is there 1 minute. Even before that, he started telling us that we have to start on time. That is very well done. There is no delay in start of the today's session. Moving on to the president's speech, though brief it was well honed up for the whatever the topic, the theme we had picked up today. I liked his introduction and then handing over to the TMOD without wastage of much time. Quite good that was. Now, if I were to look at the other role takers, they have done exceedingly well. Unfortunately, today being a New Year day, we don't have guests. Otherwise, we used to have guests. We could have addressed them, looked at newer faces. But despite the thin attendance, we had all in all an excellent session throughout the day, morning, evening, or whatever time it is in your country. Here it is already 8:30 p.m. dinner time for us. With this brief interlude, let me hand over back to the CMOD.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. So we are at 22:56. So I've got, it says here, final words by the Toastmaster. And I've only got a minute for my final words before I hand over to our president. So Kauzul, your table topics was 1.26 and your evaluation was 2.27. Like yourself, I went by the agenda and it says 1, 2, and 3, where it should be 233. So I went 1 on the green, 2 on the yellow, and 3. So I followed the actual thing. So well done. It's been an interesting evening. As I said earlier on, it's 49 meetings. Now this time next year, on the first Saturday of 2023, we will have over 100 meetings because the next year is going to be 52. So we'll be over about 101, 102 at that time next year. Something else to look forward to. 100 meetings. So thank you for everybody for being here on this auspicious day. And it's now coming up to 57. I will now hand over to our president to close the meeting. Thank you very much. And over to you, Somesh.
Thank you very much, John Khalid, for an excellent running of this meeting from the beginning to the end. I 100% agree with what Mr. Satya said in terms of you starting it, helping us to prod along in terms of the beginning of the meeting. I think that's where the whole challenge is with all the people, some changes that comes in the last moment and all those things. Are we starting on time? We started on time. Are we going to end on time? Absolutely, yes, we are going to end on time. And thank you so much for your enthusiasm, your speeches, and your participation today. It is amazing that we are from different parts of the world, but we meet every Saturday for 1 hour. As I said in the beginning, it's coming together of the minds and co-creating something that we all together, even though physically apart, but mentally we are together for this 1 hour. And we are helping each other grow in our journey in life. So thank you so much. And with that, I would like to conclude this meeting of the 1st of January 2022 and a really wonderful, fantastic, excellent, exuberant New Year to each and every one of you.